Jason Martin, co-founder and CEO of Tree of Life Seeds. Jason, maybe just to start, this is with so much talk in cannabis and CBD account, it's a big space, a big industry. Why don't you start by explaining, where does Tree of Life Seeds fit in?
Sure. So Tree of Life Seeds, we started the company back in 2015, and we've really just kind of stayed in our lane. We are a hemp-only CBD provider. We solve problems, a lot of B2B type problems, and that's realistically where we started the company and where we've stayed and really where we excel.
Okay, great. So your customers would be?
So we have a mix of different customers. We're vertically integrated. Primarily, we started our company as an agriculture play. So from a genetics standpoint and creating actually hemp genetics, our customers are primarily farmers. And I know here in this environment, a lot of people have said, hey, I don't want to be in the farm. I don't want to be in the farm business. Well, we're not necessarily farmers ourselves. Other than creating actual genetics, we partner with farmers all over the country and actually all over the world that want to grow a high CBD cultivar.
Okay, excellent. So the genetics is where you play specifically. Do you do anything in addition to the genetics?
Sure. Genetics is where we started. That was really, back in 2015. 2011, backing up that far, myself and my partner, Brian Madar, really were looking at the cannabis space as a whole. My background is corporate America. I recently, my last stint prior to cannabis was in supply chain logistics. So from a corporate America standpoint, we looked at this industry long and hard. We started looking at it back in 2011. My partner is a third generational farmer. He's got 40 plus years of actual being a farmer himself. He was an executive. He was a vice president of a publicly traded oil and gas company. So we were both corporate America folks looking at how do we get into the cannabis space as early as 2011. Realistically, what we found was we didn't fit in. It was not our place, and it was really just too fast and loose of an industry for our taste, where we both came from high industries of very complex, lots of regulations, those types of things. And the cannabis space, we didn't find that when we started looking at it. Around 2013, we started hearing about the opportunity that a hemp bill was going to be introduced in 2014, or through the Farm Bill, there was going to be an industrial hemp pilot program. So we just gathered information, and when it came down to 2013, what we saw in Colorado was everybody was really breeding THC up. So from a marijuana standpoint, it was how high can we get the THC in a plant so that from a profit standpoint, we're able to deliver a product that customers want. We looked at it and said, well, we can do the exact opposite. We can take the cannabinoid CBD and we can breed it up and at the same time breed down THC to compliant 0.3 below, even to undetectable rates. And we could do that and start that from a genetic. And so we started that development in 2013, realistically as an ag play, creating the first of the high CBD strains that are available in the US that can be grown outdoors compliantly. That's where we started. Several of the partners, not only my co-founder of the company, but we have several board members that are ex-Monsanto executives with 30 plus years with Monsanto. And this was a place that we fit. This was a place in the industry that we fit, was in genetics. But in 2015, there weren't that many farmers out there. So when we started Tree of Life Seeds and we started selling, we started the company. We've been private. We've been profitable since year one. We've never had a down year. We've always made money in the industry, and that just goes running a business, like, if there's not more money to pay make the payroll at the end of the month, then you're no longer in business. A lot of companies in this space have went out and really taken on a lot of money that they couldn't outkick the coverage, and looking at this going back to 2011, I've been to cannabis conference after cannabis conference after cannabis conference. I've met tens of thousands of people, boxes and boxes of business cards of people that don't exist anymore, companies that don't exist anymore. We've been here since 2015 in business and been profitable every year. So from a genetics standpoint, it's really where we started, but there weren't enough farms in the United States to really drive the business and the numbers that we wanted. So we really got involved from a legislative side, going state to state, working with the Department of Agriculture, working with the USDA directly in those states, and rolling out industrial pilot programs. So, hey, we had more customers. We were able to sell seeds. The next problem that we really realized in the industry, and it was the largest problem in the industry this year, and that was processing. It was all of these farmers go out and grow everything, and then what? What are they going to do with it? So processing was absolutely the bottleneck. So we've made some really big plays in processing this year. We've partnered with some companies out of Asia. We've got some joint ventures with some multi-billion-dollar JVs that we're doing with technology providers in that range that really give us a huge edge on being efficient. China, from an aspect, they've been doing herbal extraction for 2,000 years. This is something that is not new to them. It's something that they can do in scale, and we're very, very pleased to have partners like that saw our company as, we're going back to my supply chain logistics background. There's been lots and lots of little roadblocks that can happen in any new industry. And in this industry, it was, okay, there wasn't enough hemp for a finished good manufacturer. And then it was, okay, there's too much and there's no processors to do anything with it. We saw that as a problem, and we're now in the extraction. Our facility that is up is one of the largest facilities in America. We'll be one of the largest processing facilities in America. We build out to GMP. We built out to, we went ahead of that. We went to already to FDA certifications from our lab standpoint. So we're ready for the future. We're ready for what the industry and legalities throw our way. So from the genetics standpoint, we really work with the farmers, and then we're able to partner with them and solve their problem of, hey, where do they go with their biomass, and how do they monetize it? So those are things, those are real things from a B2B standpoint, and from an extraction standpoint, we're able to extract and have up to 6,000 kilos from a monthly standpoint of crude oil, or actually a refined broad spectrum or full spectrum oil. And so those are things that we're able to go B2B back to manufacturers that are manufacturing CBD products. The next wave will be, when the FDA says, hey, this could actually go into the food system, we're able to sell the Dannon yogurt or the Kellogg's or whoever decides wants to put this into that system, and we've got the scale and everything that they're looking for.
Great. It's certainly an interesting model, and the fact that you've been profitable for so long speaks to your uniqueness and differentiation. But going back, I want to talk more about the uniqueness and differentiation. Sure. Talking about genetics, can you help us understand the IP around that, how you build a moat around your business?
Absolutely. So some of the things, again, going back to the unique situation where we started, we created genetics from the start. We started breeding, again, looking through marijuana, looking through hemp, and breeding up the CBD, down the THC. Well, we're one of only 3 companies in the U.S. that's actually applied for a PVP, which is a plant variety protection. So, there's other companies that have cannabis patents. There are patents out there, but there's no real protections in those. The plant variety protection actually protects down to the use of those genetics and allows for royalties and those types of things. We're one of only 3 companies that have applied for that. We're in the second round with the USDA. We expect to hear sometime in the next quarter but we feel very confident. The geneticist that leads our genetic development, he has over 500 patents, or is involved with over 500 patents in traditional row crops, from soybeans to corn to rice, those types of crops, cultivation. So when we brought him onto our team and we added him and we connected with the USDA to send in our PVP, they immediately knew who he was, brought in instant credibility to our company, and we're one of the only companies out there that has that level of leadership from the top in the genetics. So from a PVP standpoint, I mean, we've definitely built a moat around our business where it's a very high barrier to entry, and we're expecting when we're granted that PVP, it will really be a game changer, not only for us but for an industry.
Okay, excellent. Switching gears a bit, what brings you to the ICR Conference, and what are your goals for conference?
Great. So we came really for two purposes. One is we are raising capital right now. We have not taken on capital from any form realistically in the past. Just recently we began this process. So we've done this all out of cash flow. We've built a good, strong business. We've got the platform. I look at it and I go, there's a lot of companies in this space, in the cannabis space, that have really, they've built the framework of an airplane and they've pushed it off the side of a cliff and said, we'll finish building this as it goes down. And we don't build businesses like that. So we've built a plane that flies. It's a secret jet fighter that is ready to go. And right now we need capital to really get it and go with our business. So that's where we're at first and foremost, is looking for capital. And then the second reason we're here is there's a lot of other cannabis spaces. There's a lot of companies in this facility throughout the last 3 days that are best of best in their business. And we want to work with them. We want partnerships. We want strategic partnerships, strategic alliances that allow us to continue to build our brand and help them build theirs.
Great. And with the additional capital, what would you do with that? Is it for scaling? Is it for building up the processing? Is it?
So we're finishing our processing lab right now, and we've been in this space. We've been doing processing since 2016. But to the scale that we're building out right now to be one of the largest in the country, we need some additional capital to finish out that project. We've actually got enough in cash flow right now, or in our cash on hand to finish that. But we need to then be able to grow very quickly. So that's additional resources for that. It's growth capital for the 2020 market.
Okay. So to sum it up for investors, how would you like them to think about Tree of Life Seeds in the context of the broader market of hemp and CBD companies? What would you like them to know?
So we've been involved we've talked about genetics already. We've talked about extraction, which we're by all means, we're best of class. We're efficient, we're GMP, we're FDA, we're all of the things to the highest pharmaceutical grade that you could possibly be in that space. We also have chemists on staff. I mean, we've got PhDs and PhDs. We have over 100 formulations that we've created for actual finished goods. We sell some of those ourselves. Most of our products are actually sold through doctors' offices in actual pharmaceutical channels and verticals. That's where most of our products are sold, but we're really in the position where we can be the B2B, we can do white labeling, we can do private labeling, we can finish a product for somebody that wants to be in this space and doesn't have the resources and the team that we've built with proprietary formulations. We have a patented process that we use for delivery. This is a pharmaceutical type of patent that we hold currently, that is a nano emulsification. It allows for a couple different things. It allows for a maximum absorption. The molecules, the CBD molecule is a large molecule, first and foremost. So from a standpoint, whether you're taking it orally or you're taking it from a topical standpoint, it has a tough absorption in the body. So we use a patented process. It's an all-natural, no synthetic patented process that we use to make that molecule smaller so that you have a higher maximum absorption. Our chemists has also used that same technology with several hospitals through different surgeries that have been performed that actually allow for a direct, you can bypass organs, you can bypass things with the nano-emulsification and do a direct application. So those are things that we're dealing with right now. We also, we've talked multiple times now to a lot of multiple pharmaceutical companies, both here in the US and in Asia, regarding the technologies that we have in our business and the IP that we've created in-house, and how we can partner and roll that out further into the pharmaceutical, into the medical industry, opposed to just a CBD product that's sold at the counter at Kroger or at Rite Aid or Walgreens. We're interested, that's where the space is right now, but we've really built our company for the next level.
That's excellent. I think we have time for maybe one question, if there's questions from the audience. If not, please catch up after with Jason, and we'll thank him for his time. Jason Martin, CEO of Tree of Life Seeds.